Alright, welcome back to another episode of Zombie Mouse. This week's episode is the worst places to go during the zombie apocalypse. I have my top 5. Let's get right into the list. So, number 5, the mall. Most people say that they want to go to the mall, but in actuality, a mall or a bigger mall is in a highly dense area where there's a lot of people around it. And if you know anything about zombies, you don't want to go to a highly dense area because, of course, there's going to be lots of zombies. And with that popping up, an army, like, if an army didn't have a base nearby and they're pretty much pulling back out of cities and they're trying to go into, like, smaller areas where there is a mall or something like that, they would pretty much set up in a mall. It's a big area. There's a big parking lot for all their vehicles and supplies, and it's really good fortifying if you have a bunch of people, like if an army was there. So that's a downside. It's highly dense, and maybe like I don't know what you would say, but like the army like sets up there. Now, what if you were by yourself or with a few people? And you do get out of the mall. You have fun for a few days because there's a lot of supplies. There's food and there's a few canned food items, but in a mall there's usually refrigerated items like sandwiches and all that, and like vendors that were there. Of course, you know that there's vendors in the mall too. So what happens during the power goes out? So the power goes out. Okay, there's generators. When the generators run out of gas, what are you going to do with all the food that you can't pretty much package or freeze anymore? Because at that point, the power's gone out. You don't have much canned food unless if you did scavenge for some and everything like that. And there's a lot of zombies around the parking lot now, and you're stuck inside the mall. You don't have much resources to even get out of the mall now. So that's pretty much why I don't like thinking of the mall at that point of time. So let's just make a summary right now. The mall is bad because of the high population. When the power goes out, it's pretty much pitch dark and there's no refrigeration anymore. So your food's going to go bad. And also the last point is that there's going to be a lot more people coming into the mall or coming to the mall for supplies too. So you better be good at defending your stuff or you might as well just leave. That's number 5. Number 4, a high building or skyscraper at this point. Again, like the mall, the skyscraper's in a highly dense area. And because if you go out in the countryside, and obviously there's not going to be a skyscraper, maybe a water tower or two, but that's going to be the biggest thing. So with a skyscraper, of course, it's big and it's in a highly dense city. Of course, there's going to be more zombies. With that involved, you only have one way to go up up until like the top floor, or maybe down the sewers if there is. And with that, the building only has one entrance. So once you get to the top of the roof, and there's zombies coming up the stairwell, what are you gonna do at that point? Pretty much nothing because you don't have any supplies at that point because you probably ate them all or used all your ammo, and you're just at the top of the building now, waiting for somebody to come with for your rescue in a helicopter or something. So let's do a summary with the building, like again, like the mall. The lack of escape routes, high populated area, and your resources is just really bad. There's probably just going to be vending machines and all that up in the skyscraper and everything like that. And that's why I chose that for number 4. Alright, number 3, the grocery store. With a grocery store, it has food, water, and some shelter if you want to really call it, but I wouldn't stay there long because of the people coming towards it. So, again, like I just said, there's going to be people coming towards, or going to, or towards the grocery store for supplies. And with supplies, it's going to be really dangerous. And, of course, if you don't get there in the earlier days of the apocalypse, there's not going to be much left. So you might as well stay clear of it, just because of more people will keep coming towards the grocery stores, hoping that there's going to be supplies, and they're going to have weapons. And what is worse than a zombie is actually a human. They can think they want something, they'll get it, and they'll fight for it. So that's pretty much number 3, the grocery store. Let's summarize it. There's going to be more people coming to the store, hoping to get supplies. They're going to have weapons. There's going to be a bunch of zombies, probably outside or inside, that died from the attacks of humans. And yeah, it's just the hope of people trying to get more stuff or more supplies for their family members. So, there we go. Number 3. Number 2, what do I really need to say about this? The hospital. And as everybody knows, if you break an arm or break a leg or sprain something, you go to a hospital. And within the first few days, hours, weeks of the zombie apocalypse, there's going to be a lot of people hurt and turning inside the hospital. So you want to really stay clear of a hospital because of just that. There's going to be people that have been bit, maybe died in the morgue, and they're coming back as zombies. So that's pretty much with the hospital. The only good thing with a hospital is probably the medicine, or maybe there's going to be canned food or something like that inside the hospital. But with that entailed, maybe I want to take the risk, I know that. So if you want to take the risk of probably zombies all inside or around the building, you can go towards it. I'm not even going to touch that building. So, as usual, I'm going to summarize it. With the hospital, there's going to be hurt people or dead people inside, which they're going to be coming back to life as zombies. And with that entailed, there's going to probably be more people going into the building trying to get the supplies like medicine and like that, but they're probably going to die in the process, and they're pretty much coming back as zombies. So, number 2, the hospital. Alrighty, number 1. So, I hear this one from a friend a lot, and my number 1 pick is an island. Many people might think an island is a great place to go. You can stay there forever. But hold on for a second. With an island, what do you really have? Maybe there's going to be a house, maybe not. Most islands probably don't have houses on them. So you need shelter. First off, you need water. And on an island, I'm betting there's not many water sources, unless if you're on like a giant island like Hawaii or something like that. Maybe there's going to be water sources. Or you might find a well or something like that on the island. Now, the other thing that most people need, food. And with food, you need a garden, or maybe there's going to be birds or something like that you would trap. With all that entailed, it's not a really good place because there's no shelter unless, like I said, there's going to be a house on the island. Food, you're hoping for maybe a well, or you're hoping for rain because on an island, it's an island. There's probably not going to be much water on the island. And number 3, the food. You need to grow food for yourself on that island. And how many people nowadays know how to replant seeds and grow a garden for real? And just keep yourself going for years on end. So that's why I think it's really bad to go on an island. And with that involved, you need to get to that island, and maybe you want to go back to the mainland, so you need a boat with gas and everything like that. You need to keep that boat full and hoping that there's no big storms where your boat's going to be back on the island with you. So that's pretty much why I chose an island for my worst spots to go during the apocalypse. And the only real good side that I find with an island is that maybe there's no zombies on the island, and it's pretty hard to get to an island itself anyways. So, let's summarize it up. It's really bad for shelter, unless there's already a house. Water, where you probably are hoping that there's a water source on the island, maybe there's not. And food. So, like I said, food, you need to grow it and you need to learn how to live off the land at that point. And there we go. Oh, I should say number four, like, it's really hard to get to an island unless you don't have a boat or something like that. But there we go. My top five list. Write down in the comment section maybe what I did wrong, maybe I'm an idiot like usual. And there we go. There's my top five worst places to go during a zombie apocalypse. See you for now.